Lightning builds are some of the strongest builds you can make in Elden Ring. In addition to the incredibly high damage potential with these builds, each skill and spell feels unique and extremely satisfying to use. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make the best Lightning Faith build in Elden Ring. Quick shout out to our sponsor, Damn Mods. If you don't have time to grind for items or runes, Damn Mods will help you max out your character incredibly fast. This service works on all platforms, has a 5-star rating on Trustpilot, and can make your experience way more enjoyable. Don't forget to use my code COLDBOY at checkout for up to $100 off. This build is heavily inspired by Raiden from the Mortal Kombat series, which is why I'm wearing the Iron Casa with the long white hair. This build is also an updated version of my old God tier lightning build, which just so happened to reach over 1 million views, which is absolutely insane. Thank you guys so much. I've received so many requests to recreate this build for the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, and that's exactly what we have here today. This build combines the two best lightning weapons in the game with some of the best in slot talismans to help you achieve as much damage as possible, both physically and with the spells. The first weapon you'll be using on this build is the Bolt of Gransax, the strongest lightning weapon in the entire game. The ancient lightning spear weapon skill deals very high damage, can be charged, and will knock down even the strongest enemies. This is your main and strongest ranged lightning attack on the entire build, and will essentially replace any other lightning spear incantation that you may have. For melee purposes, you'll be using the Death Knight's twin axes. This weapon has high physical attack power, deals lightning damage, and has one of the coolest weapon skills in the entire game called Blinkbolt, which turns you into a bolt of lightning, allowing you to unleash a powerful lightning charge spinning attack. Combining these two weapons allows for a very versatile playstyle where you can deal some serious damage from range and within melee distance. This build also uses some of the best lightning incantations in the game, with my personal favorite being Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike. This incantation summons a red bolt of lightning that scatters and spreads around the surrounding area, destroying anything that gets in your way. The Knight's Lightning Spear is an upgraded version of the base game Lightning Spear, which offers more damage thanks to the additional follow-up attacks. Now, even though Ancient Lightning Spear is your highest damage lightning attack on foot, the Knight's Lightning Spear can be incredibly useful when you're on horseback fighting dragons, for example. The base game and the DLC will require you to fight many dragons and other types of enemies while riding your horse, and the Knight's Lightning Spear is an incredible ranged damage option. Another lightning spell that you should add to your arsenal is Lanceix's Glaive. This spell will provide some great AoE damage to help you clear out mobs and kill multiple enemies at once, since it creates a large red lightning glaive that sweeps the area and unleashes trails of lightning. Next, let's talk about the Talismans, which play a huge role in the overall damage output of this build. The two-headed turtle talisman greatly raises stamina recovery speed, which is essential for attacking, dodging, and casting spells in quick succession. The Shard of Alexander boosts the damage of weapon skills, adding a 15% damage buff to Ancient Lightning Spear and Blinkbolt. To increase lightning attack damage even further, you'll be using the Lightning Scorpion Charm, which adds roughly 12% extra lightning attack power to your spells and skills. And lastly, Godfrey's Icon, which enhances charged spells and skills, providing 15% extra damage to the Ancient Lightning Spear skill on the Bolt of Gransax, which stacks with the Shard of Alexander. Overall, this build provides a satisfying playstyle which allows you to kill enemies fast and harness the power of lightning, just like the Thunder God himself. Your highest stats on this build will be Vigor, Dexterity, and Faith. 60 Vigor is the ideal amount of HP for New Game Plus and the DLC, but you can go lower if you need to. 20 Mind is all you need to cast spells and execute your skills efficiently. 25 Endurance is just enough for you to equip both weapons, armor, and talismans before reaching a heavy equipment load. You will need at least 20 Strength to wield the Bolt of Gransax. And lastly, you'll increase your Dexterity and Faith to 60. This will ensure an equal amount of strength for your melee attacks and spells. The Death Knight's twin axes will benefit greatly from this, since they scale with strength, dex, and faith. The first weapon on this build is a fully upgraded Bolt of Gransax. This powerful weapon comes with the Ancient Lightning Spear weapon skill, which is the strongest lightning skill in the entire game and will be your main ranged attack. 423 physical attack power, 248 lightning attack power, D tier scaling for strength, and C tier scaling for dex. This weapon requires 20 strength and 40 dex to wield. The second weapon on this build is the Death Knight's Twin Axes, fully upgraded. This is a new weapon from the DLC, and it comes with a unique weapon skill called Blinkbolt, which turns you into a bolt of lightning, allowing you to unleash a powerful lightning charged spinning attack to destroy your enemies. 531 physical attack power, 217 lightning attack power, C tier scaling for both strength and faith. This weapon requires 14 strength, 12 dex, and 16 faith to wield. The best seal to use on this build when you're casting your incantations is the Gravelstone seal. This seal offers S tier scaling for faith and will boost the damage of your Dragon Cult incantations. I'm using 6 incantations on this build. Golden Vow increases your offense by 15% and defense by 10%. Flame Grant Me Strength increases your damage even further by 20%, stacking with Golden Vow, and the Blessing of the Erdtree spell provides a buff to your character that heals you over time for 90 seconds. The first lightning incantation I'm using is the Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike, which summons a red bolt of lightning that scatters and spreads around the surrounding area, destroying anything in its path. Next, the Knight's Lightning Spear, which isn't nearly as powerful as the Ancient Lightning Spear, but is still great to have since you can cast it while riding your horse. The last incantation is Lanceix's Glaive. This incantation provides great AoE damage to help you clear out mobs and kill multiple enemies at once, since it creates a large red lightning glaive that sweeps the area and unleashes trails of lightning. The first talisman I'm using is the Two-Headed Turtle Talisman, which greatly boosts stamina recovery speed. Like I mentioned earlier, this is essential for attacking, dodging, and casting spells in quick succession. The Shard of Alexander boosts the damage of weapon skills, giving you a 15% damage increase to Ancient Lightning Spear and Blinkbolt. After that, we have the Lightning Scorpion Charm, which adds 12% extra lightning attack power to your spells and skills. And lastly, Godfrey's Icon, which adds 15% extra damage to the Ancient Lightning Spear skill, since the skill can be charged. For the Wondrous Physick mix, you'll be using the Lightning Shrouding Crack tier, which boosts lightning damage by 20% for 3 minutes, and the Spiked Crack tier, which increases the damage of your charged attacks by 15%, stacking with Godfrey's Icon. I did an entire playthrough with this build, and it was one of the funnest playthroughs yet. Insanely powerful skills mixed with visually appealing melee attacks. If you enjoyed this video, a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. We're about 3k subs away from hitting 100k, which is going to be a huge milestone for the channel, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. Thank you so much. If you want to see more Elden Ring videos just like this one, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on those bell notifications so you are notified every time I drop a new video.